What's up? Welcome back to the channel. Today's video I'm doing a front brake service on a Polo Vivo. This is a 2012 1.4 CLP motor. It's a 6S chassis. But yeah, it runs the same pads and discs as like A1 and all the other Polos. Starting with the discs, these have quite a big lip on them, so I thought we should take them out. There's still a lot of meat left, so I'll keep the discs. Same thing what I did with these. These were an older pair of discs that we had that had a lip on them, but they still got a lot of meat left. So took these across to Craft Brakes, which is in Alberton, and they just skimmed them. They were a little bit too big to put on my lathe, otherwise I would have cut them straight. So I got two sure brake discs. They're just in Rotor boxes. And then I bought a set of new pads, ATE pads for the Polo. So let's get up on the trestles, get these wheels off and start on the front brakes. I'm going to start this side. Okay, I got both side wheels off the ground. Sorry for the wind noise. I'm going to pop the bonnet and check the reservoir. Hope I didn't make them. Nah, might be a little bit too short. Hopefully not. Nah, luckily not. Okay, because I'm working on the brakes, I'm going to open the reservoir now, because I'm going to have to push the pistons back in, which is going to push some fluid back. So let me just open this, check our fluid level. Okay, see our fluid level. And then I'm just going to put this cloth around the reservoir in case any fluid comes up. It doesn't mess onto the paint or anything like that. Hopefully the cloth will catch it first. But I am going to keep an eye on that level as I pump the piston back. Might be worth noting, depending on how full yours is, just take a syringe and suck some fluid out. You really do not want to mess brake fluid on your paint work. It damages and eats the paint. There's, I don't know how well you guys can see, it's quite a big lip on this disc, but there is still a bit of meat left. So I'll take these to Craft Brakes and see if they are able to put them in the lathe and turn them, if it's worth saving. There's a little bit of meat, or a bit of meat left on the pads as well. Let me check the inner one. Let me grab a torch. Okay, the outer pad has quite a bit more meat than what the inner pad does. Don't know how well you guys can see there. It's not as much meat on the inner pad, but I'll show you when I pull it apart. Something else also incredibly helpful are these little caliper hangers. Bought this off, I think it was Temu. I'll put a link down below. You'll see when I take the caliper off, it's easier to just hook this around and hook it on the coil, on the spring, and then you don't have to sit and hold that while you're doing the disc change. Okay, let's put that aside and let's get this disc off. Get the caliper off. You've got your two slider bolts. There's one over there and the other one is over there. It's a 7mm Allen or cap inside. Yours might have little rubber covers, this one doesn't. So 7mm Allen key, and that will loosen the two slider bolts, and then you can take the caliper off. There you can see the slide bolt a little bit easier, the caliper slide bolt. It's there and there, and two 7mm. Be careful when you loosen these because they can snap sometimes, and if that snaps you've got a bit more of a problem on your hands. There we go. There's the one slide bolt. I can't remember what they're called. I think they're sliding bolts. Or caliper sliders. Can't remember. There's the other one. Okay. What you might need to do is pull on the caliper a little bit to push the piston a little bit back to get the pads over the ridges. So I'm going to push that back a little bit. There we go. I'll show you guys close up on the pads now. There we go. Okay, if this car had brake pad sensors, it would have been alarming already, because there's where the old sensor would have been, or sensor would have been. So you can see we're almost finished on that pad. One tool you're going to need, or maybe not need, but want, is a brake wind-back tool. This was a cheap set I bought online. Can't remember what I paid. I'll find it and put a link down below. This has got a left-hand wind-back and a right-hand wind-back tool for your like rear brakes and stuff on certain cars that it actually has to turn in. So you need the left-hand thread and the right-hand thread. Luckily for this just pushes straight back, so I can use either one with a plate and a slider. Very, very helpful. There is a way to do it with like a G-clamp around the caliper and use one of the old pads, but this definitely works quite a bit easier, and I'll show you guys. Very, very helpful tool. We're gonna pull the pads out. Okay, and then we can push this piston back with the wind back tool. So that goes in there like that, and then the little adapter goes in there and that seats lacquer in the piston. So I'm going to take up the slack. It's a bit difficult to do this one-handed and try to show you guys with a bit of a closer angle, but okay. So what I do is I hold this piece and then I wind the tool, and you'll see it starts pushing the piston back into its pocket. I'm going to do this very slowly, and every couple turns I'm going to go check the reservoir up top there. Okay, let me go check the reservoir hanger through the caliper like that and over the coil spring. Okay, I've wound that one a couple turns and it looks like the fluid's raised a little bit, but I'm still quite safe. Still got quite a bit of space there in the reservoir, so let's take that off again and continue winding. That's another full turn, 2, 3 full turns. Let me go have a look again. I think this side I'll be safe to finish without removing any fluid. So let's push this one all the way back. Okay, that's all the way back. Can take the wind back tool out. Now we're ready for the new pads. But before we do that, let's switch the disc over. To get the disc off, it's a T30 Torx, and you basically just loosen that little countersink screw and the disc should come off. Yeah, there's still quite a bit of meat left on the discs. It's just the ridge or the lip that's making me want to change it. Okay, the new disc. Well, new-ish disc. Let's get that on. Oi. Let's hope that stays like that. I'm going to put a bit of 243 Loctite on this little bolt, but only a little bit on this little screw. There we go. I did degrease these when I came back from craft brakes. I'll leave their details below if you want to get your brake skim. They do actually come out to your house and skim on the car. But yeah, I had these discs off already, so it was a lot easier for me to just take it to them. Let's get the new pads in and get this back together. Okay, with these ATE pads, I'm not sure if it's all brands that do them. That do it. You've got two different color clips. You got a black clip, which is for your outer, and then a silver clip, which is for the inner. So when you put it back in your caliper, you must remember silver clip goes into the piston, and the black clip comes to the outer of the caliper. There's the outer pad. Check how thick that is, and then inner pad, and then the old inner pad. So there was still a little bit of life left on this one, but it's good that we're replacing. Then we're gonna get this clip, this pad pushed into here. Is a little bit of a struggle to get it in. Well, it depends on how strong your fingers are. You basically want to pinch it together, the clips, and at the same time push it into the piston. There, like that. And then the black one for the outside, that just slides down like that. And there we go, we've got two new pads on. When we go over the disc, we hook bottom on first, and then it pushes towards the top over here. Okay, that's stable like that. Before I put those slide pins or slide bolts back in, I'm going to clean them up with a bit of Brillo pad. The pins are nice and clean, or slide bolts are nice and clean. Make sure that your where they slide in and go through is also nice and clean and not dirty at all, just to make sure there's no grime in there. Now with putting it back together, I'm going to add a tiny little dab of 243 Loctite on the threads. I'll do the other one now. And then you should put a little bit of sort of lubricant or whatever on the shaft so that it slides like it's supposed to. The caliper moves over this. So you just want to add a bit of lubricant. I use silicone paste. But yeah, just add a little bit of silicone paste so that the caliper slides freely along that. Before I tighten that all the way, I'm going to do the other one. Now that it's just nipped up, I'm going to grab my torque wrench and torque those. They are actually called slide pins. So I've got my torque wrench set to 30 newtons. There we go. That's this wheel done. Before I put it back together, I'm just going to swap out this stabilizer bar link or drop link, or not drop link, yeah, sway bar link, stabilizer bar link quickly, because that's a bit too loose. I'll come nip it up, and then when it's on the ground, I'm going to torque the wheel to 110 newtons. Let's go that side. just got this one all the way in and we're almost at the top. I'll show you. I got that, the right caliper pushed all the way in, and you can see we're almost at the top. So I'm going to suck some fluid out when I'm done. Okay, let's change the disc. T30. Can always do that. You can put a wheel stud back in so that the disc doesn't fall. Thought I'd actually just show you guys so you can see the pin. It's like gunky and stuff, so just some normal Brillo pad. Probably could do it with some brake and part cleaner as well. There we go. Okay, it's back down on the ground. Let's get the wheels torqued. Like I said, don't forget to push the brake before you take it on the road, because watch how much pedal I have. All the way to the ground. All the way to the ground. There we go. Now I have a pedal. So very, very important. Don't forget that before you drive the car. Now that I press the pedal again to make sure that the pads are touching, let's check our final fluid level. We're below the max mark, so I'm actually not going to take any fluid out. Can just close that up, and then we are done with this. That's simple. That's the brake service now done on the Polo. Took me about an hour, which wasn't too bad. I have done it before on a couple Polos, so I know exactly like what to use and what to do, but yeah, hopefully that was descriptive enough for you guys to do it. You can see it's very, very simple. Couple tools you need. You don't have to get that brake windback tool, but it definitely makes life a lot easier, and that thing's quite versatile. So yeah, I think I paid a couple $100 for it. I'll put a link below for you guys to go have a look at. Anyway, thank you guys for watching the video all the way to the end. Greatly appreciate it. And as always, you guys know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.